Glass is a movie that I enjoyed the majority of. Actually, enjoyed is a bit of an understatement. I completely loved everything the film was building up to, but about halfway through that parking lot scene, I verbally said, "Oh no," and I realized that he didn't stick the landing. And after thinking about it for days, I want to talk about why this third act, more specifically why this ending, doesn't fundamentally work. Let's start off with the smaller twist. Kevin's father being on the East Rail 177 train is an idea that has been thrown around since Split's release, and I love this concept. It would tie the character of Kevin closer to David and Elijah, rather than him just being another superpowered being. And when this idea was realized in Glass, it was satisfying. It was naturally built up by both Joseph, David's son, and Elijah finding this out, and both having looks of shock, but not relaying to the audience what is so shocking until Joseph tells the Beast himself in the parking lot. I honestly forgot about this theory and believed that Kevin's dad was going to be revealed as a superhero or something, and I'm very glad that that didn't happen. Anyways, after the Beast finds out that Elijah killed Kevin's father, he has an interesting and understandable reaction. The Beast and even the rest of the Horde are talked about as villains, but the reason that all the alternate personalities exist is to protect Kevin. That's their sole purpose. None of the personalities are fully evil. In their eyes, they act more like anti-heroes. In Glass, Dennis regrets hurting the two girls and Dr. Fletcher from Split and doesn't want to help the Beast, and by the end, he completely renounces Patricia and the Beast. Hedwig doesn't want to hear the kidnapped girls' names at the beginning of the film, so he doesn't feel bad like he did with the other girls from Split. Even Elijah specifically states that the Beast himself is an avenging angel. So when the Beast finds out that Elijah killed Clarence Crumb when he blew up the East Rail 177 train, he states that even though he's grateful for what he's done for the Horde, protecting Kevin comes first. He then shatters Elijah's shoulder and breaks his ribs. This is an understandable and satisfying twist with a good conclusion. It's one that feels planned. It's a twist that's technically been 3 movies in the making. But then we get to the big one. Revealing Sarah Paulson's character as the antagonist is not a bad idea. It's interesting. It'd be a good common evil for the 3 protagonists, and she would have made a good final threat. But I didn't know if this twist was going to be in the movie or not. You see, Glass is a 2-hour and 9-minute film, and my showing began at 3:15. So around 5 o'clock, the parking lot fight scene was still happening, and I got super worried. I didn't know how M. Night was going to finish the film. I had no clue. Then the big twist came. With only minutes of the movie left, Sarah Paulson is revealed to be a member of a secret society out to suppress the existence of all superpowered beings. Kevin Wendell Crumb is shot in the gut, Elijah Price dies from falling out of his chair, and David is drowned in a puddle by a normal man. It's then revealed that Elijah knew all this was going to happen and livestreamed the entire fight and their deaths. He then sent a timer to email this footage to his mother, Casey, and Joseph after they died, and the 3 reveal it to the world, kickstarting a new world where heroes can exist. There's a mountain of reasons why this last 15 minutes does not work. Having the twist come in the last few minutes of your film is a terrible idea.
But Justice, Unbreakable and Split had their twists come at their endings too!
Okay, but here's the difference. Unbreakable's twist was the final scene in the film because it not only recontextualizes Elijah's character, say that 3 times fast, but it's also a twist that was built up since the beginning of the film. It is completely understandable why Elijah would do this in the context of the film, but Elijah's character is not what the plot was centered around. The film's focus is on David Dunn and him coming to terms with his powers. When this reveal happens, the film has already concluded its main plotline, and in just one scene, it completely changes the audience's perspective of Elijah's character. Now, if in the last 10 minutes Sam Jackson revealed that he's going to blow up a bomb and David Dunn has to stop him, this would ruin the third act. And Split's twist has nothing to do with the main film, and that's probably a reason why some find it to be polarizing. I guess you could call it a fourth wall twist since it's a twist to the audience instead of any of the characters. It recontextualizes the film for the audience, but it has absolutely no effect on the main story, the Horde, or Casey, or anybody else in this world. Now, if Bruce Willis bursted through the doors of the zoo and had a confrontation with the Beast at the last second, this would ruin the third act. I think you can see where I'm going with this. Unbreakable's twist works as a standalone twist, changing the perspective on Elijah's character. Split's twist is used for world building and is set up for a sequel. You cannot do this exact same formula when bookending a trilogy. So instead, Shyamalan does this 10 minutes before the movie ends, building up a threat that's taken care of off-screen within minutes. It's the exact definition of sloppy and messy. And as a fan, seeing the 3 protagonists get murdered unceremoniously upsets me. Murdering Kevin, David, and Elijah and then leaving Casey, Joseph, and Elijah's mother to cry over their dead bodies? That's fucking brutal. I've seen films that end with characters sacrificing themselves for the greater good, and this isn't that. What if David was given a choice? What if he knew that he was going to die somehow, and he had to choose between seeing his son again by giving up, or stopping the beast? And in the end, he chooses to be the hero, to be the overseer one last time. But no. He's drowned in a puddle by a normal man, when earlier in the film he breaks through a tank of water as he's simultaneously fighting with the beast as he's drowning. There's sacrificing yourself, and then there's being murdered by a nameless, faceless asshole who had just shown up 60 seconds ago. Same goes for Kevin shot in the stomach and Elijah falling out of his chair. Murdering the three main characters in the last 10 minutes of your film and then throwing a half-assed message about the world believing in themselves does not work for me. I know that this movie is supposed to have a message about believing in yourself, but I'm someone who believes that a message or theme should not ruin a good story, and Glass did just that. Even getting away from my personal connection to these characters, there's a million different ways Glass could have done this plotline without killing the main three, and the way this film went about it leaves so many plot holes and so many questions. In the end, Glass's final act feels like a vomit draft, like something that Shyamalan scribbled out in a notebook over a Saturday evening. It disrespects the main characters, it introduces a threat that's thwarted off screen, then it throws in that dumb message with some thoughtful music to go along with it, and it expects you to be satisfied. Whenever I talk about how great Glass is, the final act brings almost a bad flashback to my initial viewing. When I left the theater, there was a pit in my stomach. I wanted to be happy, I was happy, but then there was this overbearing sense of sadness at the same time. And I don't think that that feeling's ever gonna go away. Hey everybody, it's been a long time since I've seen this ugly mug. Don't get used to it. I'm just glad to be back. I'm glad I got to start off on like a big video. I mean, I know I started early this year, but I want this to be my official start to the year. So, yeah. I'm here. I'm not going to post as much because I have school and other things. And yada yada yada, this is not important. But anyways, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you enjoyed the video. If you didn't, it's okay. I'll try to make something better, even though I really tried. I really fucking did. And as a final note, I'm not wearing pants.